Once again, he'll be checking back in. Tonto, how you feeling, man?
I'm good, brother. I'm good.
Good to have you open up for our first episode. You know, one of the best, if not the best. I guess I can say the best DJ I know personally. So it's good to have you open up for the first episode of A.Bevy Radio, bro.
Thank you and bless. Thank you.
Shout out to Tonto. Want to give him a shout out. He's gonna take a quick break. He'll be back. Anything you want to say before you dip? Take your break.
Just make sure y'all pay attention. Make sure you listen. This is a weekly thing that we're gonna start right now. So please, and make sure y'all stay safe and stay in the home. The lights off.
My man. Love, man. Much love.
Peace.
All right, Tony Tonto will be back at 9 o'clock after the main event. Right now, we're gonna dive right into it. I'm gonna bring on our second host, you know, the great Lindsay Johnson. I don't know if y'all can even put hand claps in the bottom, but please, you know, clap it up, say hey to us, all that good stuff. How you doing, Ayat?
I'm good. I'm excited. That was a good intro, warm up. Whew.
We're here now, you know.
I'm excited. That's the most social interaction I've gotten during social distancing.
Right, you know, and that's what we're here for. So just to take it, you know, from the top again, you all in here. Welcome to A.Bevy Radio, episode 1, brought to you by A.Bevy, art and education nonprofit. I go by the name of Bryant White. That's Bryant like Kobe, Kirk like Franklin, White like the color. You know, that's just how it is. Who are you, ma'am?
I am Ayat Soluiman, you know, formerly known as Yaya, but you know, you graduate, you gotta change it up. I am the program director of A.Bevy as a whole, because now it's a whole thing now. It is.
Just looking at where A.Bevy has been. We're now celebrating 10 years. A lot of people have asked, you see it. How this 10-year thing has been working, and it boils down to we're celebrating the whole year. Right. So we hit 10 years, you know, as far as the idea of A.Bevy coming to fruition at the end of 2019. So 2020 is the pinnacle of looking back 10 years and saying, what have we done? You know, what are we proud of? How many have we impacted? Just in general, just in hindsight, saying, you know, we're thankful for what A.Bevy has given us, and we're also thankful for what A.Bevy has provided for others. And so this whole year, we'll be looking in retrospect of where we've been, and also introducing a lot as far as where we're going, which again is how you get A.Bevy Radio.
Putting it all together in a tangible form for all people, because I feel like A.Bevy has touched so many different lives that a lot of people wonder how they can still keep in touch, how they can join the conversation, how they can move on with their careers or lives and still be a part of it. So dope.
Yeah. So again, you pay attention here. A lot of times we hide a lot of our plans. All of our members always be like, you know, what you got up your sleeve. Here weekly, you can see face to face what we got planned. So, you know, whether it be A.Bevy Academy, A.Bevy Collegiate Group, A.Bevy Stage Association. I think I saw the Asian here, you know, the coronavirus got us kind of, you know, backed up, but A.Bevy Stage Association, Charlotte coming soon. I think Keith is on the bill, so he'll be checking in soon. A.Bevy Stage Association, Atlanta coming soon. You know, if anybody else is in here that's interested, you know, in taking A.Bevy to that next level, we can shoot you more details from a young adult standpoint. But I think we can dive into just some conversations, some topics. What's up? How you feeling, Yados?
Quarantine. Honestly, this Corona has changed. As an educator, it's already changed my day-to-day. So that's been a big thing. But I feel like when I first went in, or when quarantine first started, I tweeted, like, use this time for your mental health, you're this, you're that. But then we got extended another week, and then another week, and then another week. So I'm currently at a very non-productive point, and I feel guilty about it. But not non-productive in the sense that, you know, LLC Twitter, what is it called? Mm-hmm. Rock Nation Brunch Twitter. Yeah. How they make you feel about what you should be doing, but also the other side of Twitter that's like, you should be meditating, you should be growing. And I'm doing neither. I'm literally waking up, staying up late, watching TV, going to sleep. And, you know, and in between handling business, but I feel like I'm not in either or. When I started, like when quarantine first started, I was in the relax, meditate, journal. It lasted 7 days. And then I realized, I was like, oh, this shit's about to go on for a long time.
Mm-hmm.
Can you keep this up? So I'm good, but it's just I'm stuck in between. Is this our new normal and making a routine out of it, or is this just for the time being and just ride the wave?
Yeah, I definitely one of the things I definitely want to ask you is if you are okay. You know, definitely want to start every episode with what we call it, a wellness check.
Dive into that, because I think for a lot of us, being okay is like settling. It's if you say I'm okay, it means you're not okay.
Correct. So what we want to do here, just us, not even trying to put on the world or anything, but if you're here listening, use the chat. You can utilize the chat and talk to people directly. Feel free to hit myself, Ayat up personally. Using the chat, you can click people tab and goes to a direct. But one thing we always want to start these episodes with is wellness check. The question, are you okay? And one thing that A.Bevy stands on is self-awareness. When it comes to self-awareness, a lot of people ask the question, what does that mean? What's the benefit of that? Our goal is to make self-awareness cool. And one of the key, benefits and aspects of self-awareness is your mental health. It's your well-being. It's your just you recognizing who you are and being in a place that you believe in. And at times we're in places that we don't believe in. And so A.Bevy is here to change that mindset, to push that mindset to a place where you want to be. So when it comes to being okay, when it comes to wellness, we want to ask, are you okay? Because it's America. So a lot of the times we hype up the idea of being like great or good,
above the norm,
extraordinary, or I'm excelling every day, or I'm doing a whole lot every day, or I just achieve and I do and I get. And what we stand for is more so a selfless and compassionate base. So, but it's nothing wrong with being great, nothing wrong with being good. But we also want to recognize that being okay is just as fine. Being okay, being able to wake up and say, I am where I want to be. I have the things that I want to have, or I have an abundance of the things I want to have. Let you know that being okay is perfectly fine. Additionally, what A.Bevy is here for is for when you're lower than that. When things are off kilter, when you feel off balance, when you feel like, okay, the things that I believe in myself to be, the things that I believe in myself that I'm able to do, I'm not doing those things. And yeah, at times you may have to push yourself. You may have to make changes. And being able to make changes, no matter how low you are, you can progress and grow to, again, being okay. And sometimes making that progressive state and that growth state, you can jump above okay. But our whole goal from that jump is to make sure everybody is okay. It's not anything extra. Are you okay right now? And if you're not, we're here for you.
I am okay. I feel like I am okay at the moment. I feel like I'm at that less than feeling comes from that normally being above okay, or that normally having 1,000 things on my to-do list and checking them off, or that feeling of accomplished or feeling of self-worth you get from being accomplished. So I am okay.
There we go.
And I'm learning to be okay with being okay. So that's that second part. You talked a little bit, you basically said something, you use them interchangeably, mental health and mental wellness.
Break it down for me.
I want you to help me figure it out, because that's something that we're the book of the month is The Alchemist. So me and Bryant have talked a lot about that, and just like, what is the difference between mental health and mental wellness, and how do you get to a healthy mental space, not mental health as a whole. I know we talked about mental wellness is you're working out. To me, so let's figure it out. The person who goes jogging every day with not a weight loss goal, it's just a part of their everyday life, versus this person who's working out to lose weight. Mental health means the person who's working out to lose weight. They have a goal. Versus mental wellness is someone who does these healthy things to remain at that equilibrium.
I like that.
So what did you get from that when we first introduced the two terms?
Well, when I introduced them, when we're looking at mental health, I had a conversation with a young lady who's working on her doctorate as far as the therapy realm, psychology.
This is from a professional.
Professional, yeah. So we out here, we're learning as far as this education that A.Bevy is giving you through the arts. When it comes to mental health, you're looking at what the world seems to dictate, at least our nation or our community seems to dictate as a problem. as an issue. Someone talks about mental health, big shout out to Soluiman the God, when he talks about mental health, a lot of people tend to combat, like, that means there's a problem. He made it his prerogative to change that definition. But overall, I don't think there should be a problem with that definition, because when we're talking about mental health, there's a category of diagnosis, what would be the plural term? I don't know. Diagnosis, where y'all put it in the chat.
I think it's a diagnosis, even if it's
multiple diagnosis that, then say, okay, something is off with you, incorrect with you, that you must deal with, that you have to keep in mind, that at times you must take prescription for.
Mm-hmm.
Right. So when we say mental health, at least in this time period, and at least as far as what A.Bevy is concerned, we don't want to look at it as much as, something that's wrong. However, the term wellness, we can take that stigma out and say your mental wellness or your wellness in general. Mm-hmm. It combines, which is something we'll get into in a later episode. It combines multiple things that engulf all that you are. It's not just what's going on in your brain, how your neurons and all of that are functioning, and how you take things in, how trauma has affected you. Wellness encompasses more than just that, and encompasses multiple facets of are you doing and being, who you believe yourself to be, and not even are you okay? That's what that wellness is. Are you okay? And so when those wellness checks come, every episode, make sure you hit the chat. You can tell us out loud. I want everybody to put in the chat how you are feeling right now. Let us know if you are okay. If you are, let us know why. Or just say yes. Or if you're not, you can say why not, or you can just let us know that you're not. And again, we're here to build a community of individuals who are here to check on each other's wellness and make sure that we are better people, not on the outside, but on the inside.
Mm.
Yeah.
Are you okay? Do you feel like you're okay?
Man, I feel like I'm okay. One thing I stand on, like, this is like my vibe, like the whole quarantine. Because even if
about this being like semi your comfort zone.
Yeah.
And productivity, like you're productive because this is your comfort zone.
Mm-hmm.
So on the flip side, the cancellations and the unknown, you are in education too now. So on one side, you're gaining more time to dive into, like, you're learning more. You spent hours yesterday on a website. Perfect. Yeah. So you get more free time, but at the same time, you're losing your routine as far as what your weekends look like, what your day-to-day looks like. So how has that affected your okay?
Well, you mentioning the routine coming back and them day-to-days coming back and packing that schedule from going to work to saying I want to do 3 meetings afterward, to making sure my household is stable, to making sure my fiance is happy all the time. Like, that just sent a little jolt through me, because it's like, okay, that's coming back soon and I got to get back to it. And it's kind of, the idea of it is kind of stressful, which I guess that's why I like, having less on the plate currently. Because for me, it goes back to, even when I started A.Bevy, it went back to my grandfather passed and me studying abroad in a whole nother country, and me secluding myself and saying, okay, I don't want to do anything on the outside. I just want to stay in here, metaphorically and literally. I just want to stay in here. I don't want to do anything else. And I learned that this seclusion had so many benefits. And I think, if nothing else, I see the benefit in Corona time, quarantine, being beneficial in that aspect for me. I'm definitely aware of the problems that it's causing in many other areas for people who, may or may not be like me. But for me, I think for everyone, the seclusion aspect of it is beneficial. That's what I like, to be able to take the time and just stare at the ceiling and talk to myself, and be myself, like run around the house.
A bit more about that. We talked about how it has affected us and our close circle.
Yeah.
Versus, so we're not out of touch with how it has affected other people, but being a collegiate organization and being in touch with those young people who their graduation has been canceled, and we know we come like from our 400 members, many of them are first generation college graduates.
Mm-hmm.
So that's a big emotional. Many of them fund themselves through school. So losing those type of jobs, that's a big difference. So we're not out of touch, but I know it's not the same for our day-to-day.
Right.
Our day-to-day balance is more so emotional and schedule, but I feel like for the younger people, it's affecting them in different areas.
Man, I just turned 30. We in the upper 20s now, so I think one person that we definitely want to bring to the forefront, because A.Bevy right now we're building out our 3 programs for young adults, for middle school and high schools. But what we've been had for the last 8 years, 400 plus members annually. I could say 3,000, 4,000 plus within the past 8 years. Our A.Bevy Collegiate Group, is something that's near and dear to our heart. Yeah. And so right now I want to bring in our A.Bevy Collegiate Group program coordinator, Ms. Lindsay Johnson.
Hi, guys.
I'll say hey to Lindsay in the chat, you know what I mean?
I look slow, but it's okay.
It's good to see you, man, at least from a distance.
I miss y'all.
Yeah,
so
man. So how are you? Are you okay?
I'm okay. Like Ayat said, like I'm just so used to this is what I got going on, and now it's just like, what do you have going on? So I have to make my own schedule and kind of hold myself accountable to being productive. So as far as, but it's very fluid. So I like the fluidity, not being run on a schedule, but also needing to accomplish the things I need to. But I'm good.
Okay. Well, the main thing we brought you in on, as I'm sure you've been tuning in, is we're wondering from a younger standpoint, not just even when it comes to age, but experience-wise, and especially from a collegiate standpoint, which correlates directly to this is a path that I have drawn out, and that whole path has been shaken. Or a younger standpoint to where I had a job, I'm saving money, I'm trying to do this. I have a lot of drive, and all of that being shaken. And also a younger standpoint to where we depend a lot on social interaction. We depend a lot on being able to go out with our friends and do things and promote and be just in general. So how do you feel? How do you think our members are feeling? Like, give us an update.
I've talked to a good bit of members and also the young people in my life who are at that stage of getting ready to graduate. And there's a lot of stress and anxiety, honestly, especially when, you're just sitting here thinking, all I have to do is pass this class and I'll be okay. And then there's graduation and think about that. But I know a lot of them are striving, and I know a lot of them are just barely holding on. And so I try to kind of keep in contact with them, just kind of uplift. I know as far as personally, like I have a younger sister who is set to graduate, and she's just like confused really as far as what she's supposed to do next. She feels like her path is she has too many options. So it's just very hard to relate sometimes because, everything from before till now, everybody kind of went on schedule, but you're at this crossroads where it's just like, what am I supposed to do? Because there isn't a YouTube video you can go and watch. There isn't a book you can read to tell you this is what you're supposed to do or how to handle this specifically.
Yeah. And I know during the winter retreat, when we had all of them gathered, we tried to instill in them to find, and I don't feel like we gave them enough time because we literally just dropped these gems in January, but we basically were trying to tell them, find something else in the world to validate you. Mm-hmm. Because once you graduate, it's hard chasing that high of a good grade or chasing that high of this class beat my ass, but I passed, or this semester is over. Like those little milestones that you get in college, we know once you graduate and you have a regular job that's like Monday through Friday, 3-6, like the whole year, you have nothing to look forward to, and you have to organize trips with your friends. So even for young adults that just recently graduated, when you get into the real world and you have this everyday routine, you don't have little milestones milestones to count to. Like in college, you had games, fall break, whatever. You could have a hell semester. When that semester ends, you get a fresh start. You don't get that many fresh starts in real life.
Right.
So now that they've been, I want to say, robbed of that, and they haven't had the chance to even process that yet, you know? So like some kids are not excited that they get a pass or fail because this was the semester to prove themselves, you know, like whatever it is. It's, my sister was supposed to be transitioning to DC and now interviews are halted. Like apartments, you can't go look for apartments. So it was like, what's next? How do I pause my life? So I think that's a big age gap or professional gap too between younger adults, because we're knocking on 30, and how they get to handle this time. What's their biggest concern, you feel like?
Being ready when we're allowed to go back outside. So it's
I'm ready when they let us back outside.
Well, I mean, ready professionally, I guess.
Yeah.
So like, okay, yeah, we want to go outside. We want to be with our friends. We want to parlay. We want to be in the mix, all of that. But as far as your future goals, like, what do you do next? Like, for those jobs where you need to have those, what's the word? Internship hours. You need to have that experience. What happens next? Who do you go to? Who do you call? Is it really gonna be safe? So I just that unknown is really what I think scares them the most. And that, I mean, it scares most everyone. That we really don't know. We don't know when this is gonna be done. We don't know if this is the new normal. But I really feel like just not being able to control that and knowing who to talk to, what to do, and is it going to be stable?
Yeah.
It's a real thing, man. What else, you got something else for us?
No, it's okay. I was saying, like, I think it's a big, that part is also adults. We may have more experience in it, but it's something that we're not ready for either.
No.
As simple as our sleep pattern to as big as how do you interact when you go back to the workplace? Like, it's funny, like you said, is it safe? I'm a hugger. So does that mean when I start seeing y'all out in public, I'm gonna have to be like, whoa.
Right.
You know, like, how do you change your everyday?
Yeah. It's gonna be changed.
Yeah, my standpoint, even then, going back to the workplace is like, I don't know if it fits what we was talking about, but like, why do we have to be here? Because for me, it's where we're able to be productive, you know, for a certain amount of time, to a certain extent, depending on the job. Given what we would say 9 to 5, certain things we can do at home, even from an educational standpoint. You know, how are we learning? You know, I have a fiance. I know plenty of other people. She got 2 degrees, 2 of her last 2 major degrees online. You know, even now when we're looking at the verses, the Swiss Beats and the Timberland battles, when we're looking at people hopping on IG Live, when we're looking at opportunities like this, whether it be hopping, Zoom, A.Bevy Radio, whatever we're looking at, it's like, okay, these are things we can accomplish, you know, at home or from a distance. Even more importantly, during our own schedule. So the idea that we gotta go sit in the office.
I will say, I feel like this has shifted regular people. I call it Gen Pop. I hope it's shifted people in politics, because Gen Pop has definitely realized there's a lot of things that's been done wrong. Like for my district, for example, we were able to give every student a laptop. Before Comcast, Xfinity, all these places, and I want, you know, someone from a business aspect to, you know, hop in on the conversation in the chat, but they're able to give all these students computers, which means they didn't go buy anything. Where were they?
Right.
Because I know at least go ahead.
So why were these less fortunate students without this caliber of education while the school year was going? So that's been one thing. And like you said, there's a lot of jobs that can be done from home. You know, so even that aspect of it is shifting our normal. Oh,
you mentioned the computers. You mentioned, you know, just extending ourselves from a personal standpoint to definitely a government standpoint. I think I saw, whether it be a tweet, Instagram, whatever it was saying, you like, why now do we have, elderly grocery store times? Why don't we always have elderly grocery store times? Now, how can we, increase minimum wage when we couldn't earlier? Now, there's a lot of things especially when it came to those funds, when it came to those government expenditures, when it came to, minimum wage, unemployment, when it came to those things, that now it's like, we can do it. And because of these extraneous circumstances, we'll do it now. But before then, like, why was it a debate to want to do it then? It made Bernie Sanders look good, wanting to say, I can cut these student loans off. I got an email today saying, okay, you ain't got to pay till September, October, whatever it was. I'm like, I mean, you might well, you know what I'm saying?
I also feel like I've been reading on it, and this is definitely something we could dive into next time, but is it because you want the gap between the working classes to be bigger? Because if you think about salaries, most salaries start at $20, like 20 something. Whatever. So if we give minimum wage 15, is that gap not big enough for us to feel like we done, I got these loans. If I have to raise minimum wage and it's only a $5 difference, I feel like for the business class, that needs to be raised too. So that was another debate, like that gap needs to be bigger. Now, why is something that's more, humane, and we got to dive into, but that was an interesting, like, idea, philosophy. Conspiracy theories are flourishing, okay? This was the best time for them. They're being watered, they are blooming.
I don't that after all of this, and I'm sure because parents are starting to notice that, teachers go through the rough of it every day, all day. Just as far like what you're talking about with the laptops and stuff, with my school district and my particular school students, I haven't even been able to be in contact with them because a lot of them don't have that internet access and they weren't allowed their Chromebooks to come home with them. So I've just been trying to figure out ways, get the wheels turning on how to connect with them. But hopefully after this is all said and done, teachers get a little bit more love.
Yeah, like over years now. Yeah.
That's interesting. I also want to know, like, going into it from educational and students, for the creatives and like how they're suffering from this. Not no Instagram influencers, not YouTube influencers, and them too, but like the creatives that their free time has been absorbed, because it's still hard for me to balance my online life at home. So like you used to be able to get off work and feed your hobby or feed your, your side hustle or feed your craft. How do you do that now? So that's something I really want to dive into.
I think for me, like, I really want to shoot this Pursuit Weekend promo, and it's really getting to me that I can't go outside and shoot it. That's small eggs to a pandemic, but it really does affect the mindset of wanting to just watch things versus wanting to do things, wanting to witness things versus wanting to create things. And I think that's why you're still here, because you can check in with, I think, a good friend of mine, Mr. Keith Bell. He's a creative also, in Atlanta, and we have him on tap. So I think we can bring him in, to join this 4-part conversation before you peace out, Lens. Cool. And I think Keith can chime in on that a little, maybe.
Hey, Keith.
He might be muted himself. He might have muted himself, my brother. He's so creative. He's been creating his head.
I did mute myself. What's up with y'all?
Hello.
Hi.
It's good to see you, man. Good to have you here. You're the most colorful person on the screen. So that goes straight to the fact you're the most creative. I think the left brain that you're using more than we are right now. One thing we've seen you do since Corona kicked off, definitely the first week, via your production company, Uncaged Birdie Productions, you've released, Women Episode 2. But on top of that, I know being in Atlanta, you made a big move last year. Some may or may not be familiar with your story. At this time, that drive, that path, that plan kind of how's that plan going to the side? Because you can't pull up on Tyler Perry Studios right now.
Nah, I can't do none of that. I had my whole year planned out. So like May to October might not happen until the springtime now. So it's like I had to like rearrange all that and shift it to next year because I don't know if we're gonna have a summer for real.
We're gonna have a summer.
We're gonna have a summer, but I don't know if we're gonna have a summer. You know what I'm saying? So yeah.
How do you feel with having to alter that? Like, does it feel like when we were talking about being okay, is that something that's easily swallowed? Like, okay, life is happening and it's not just happening to me. Because I know a lot of times when something happens, you beat yourself up for a little bit, but it's happening to literally the entire world. And that's the first time I feel like in my lifetime that something has happened to the entire world. So how do you adjust that without feeling down?
It makes you feel a little better that it's happening to the entire world. Not trying to be like selfish or anything, but like it's like I'm set back, but I'm not the only person that's set back. So it's not like something that's self-inflicted where I messed up my own timeline. It's like, all right, it is what it is. We just gonna plan even more and just make sure we have everything in place when it's time to go outside or whatever.
I feel like a lot of creatives are really hard on themselves. And with that being said, although it's happening to the whole world, life is still going on.
Indeed, yeah.
Bills are still, you know what I'm saying? It's like, yeah, it's the creativity, the accessibility has paused. But then you have people like the creator of Hoppin' and other people, this is their time to flourish. So it's like, yeah, we're all paused, but life is still moving on. Like now I have to change my by 30 goals to by 32.
Yes. So just looking at that aspect, for me, it's really just remembering what matters. As a creative, we won't get into the term of like, come on, Rebecca.
That's a This Is Us plug. If you haven't caught
it's like a.
I still haven't watched the season finale.
This Is Us is lit now. This Is Us is lit now.
I cry every episode
because I can't think. When I think of what I was thinking about, I'm gonna bring it back up. But right now, I think during quarantine, Keith, what have you been watching? Like, how have you been entertaining yourself? What have you been doing?
I've been watching Ozark.
I just finished.
And Grey's Anatomy.
I just started Ozark.
Like you've been watching Grey's Anatomy, like new episodes. Like you started Grey's.
I started from season 1.
And you never watched it before?
Never watched it before. My mom used to watch it when I was little because it's been on for like 20 years.
Have you teared up?
Grey's Anatomy got like 20 seasons.
Have you teared up yet?
No, I haven't got to that point yet. Not yet. I'm just seasons 2. But I've been watching Grey's Anatomy and Ozark, flipping back and forth. Then I play Call of Duty, and then I do something slightly productive.
Okay. So Call of Duty, you play with Xbox, PlayStation?
Xbox.
Xbox?
Yep.
So has like that turned up as far as the online experience? Has that seen an impact by Corona or anything like that?
Yes, I never played my video game really because it's like I go to work, I come home, it's like 8:30 when I get home, then I'll try to do something on my computer. Before I know it, it's 11:30.
So out of all of us, you're still actually in person reporting to work. How has that shifted?
Hold on, you still working?
Well, I haven't worked for the past 2 weeks. I go back Sunday.
And that's why that's why summer is canceled, because a lot of jobs are still.
Right.
Yeah.
Let them be at home.
Yeah. I don't go back till Sunday, but we did have a confirmed case at work. And then I was like, you know what, after that, I'm taking my 2 weeks. So I'm on week 2. What's the day? Wednesday? Yeah. Week 2. So Sunday I go back.
Because of the outbreak?
Yes.
Okay.
But initially when it started, they gave us 2 weeks. They were like, if you think you've been infected or you definitely are infected, just take 2 weeks. And I picked when it was confirmed to take my 2 weeks.
So that's interesting because I feel like your daytime routine or your work routine hasn't changed. So is it do you feel like the fact that everyone around you life has changed is affecting you more in social?
I've affected it myself because honestly, I haven't been that productive in these 2 weeks at all. Like you would think I would wake up like normal and like do something, but like no, I'll be asleep like half the day.
Because see, that's really interesting because for most people, it's their work schedule that's threw everything off.
Mm-hmm.
But for you, it's they literally robbed you of the social, of the release of how your parlay after work, or that's what's been changed because your regular routine has still been there. You still live in Atlanta, you still go to work, and I don't think a lot of people think about that. They think only the people that their jobs canceled is the ones who their life has been shifted.
No, it's like everybody that you'll see, like the gas station man on the corner. I don't see him no more. It's just like little stuff like that.
Mm-hmm. But that makes a big difference, especially since you just moved to a new city.
Exactly. So it's like you just gotta. I'm in the house with it. I might go to Kroger around the corner or the farmers market across the street. But other than that, I'm pretty much in the house. No outside correspondence.
So Keith, as far as outside correspondence, we know the goals with those things. Are you single?
Yes.
So how being single? I'm basically married.
Mm-hmm.
So you quarantine with fiance.
Okay. Babe, like if she got it, I got it.
Straight up.
Standpoint, Linz, we won't get into your business, but Keith, if you can like, from a single man standpoint, how has quarantine affected relationships? Not just sexual relationships or the top tier interest relationships, but just relationships with that in general, as far as how you're talking to them, all of that. Be as candid as you like.
People like to talk more.
Wait, list candidates he like?
No, he just asked me about the candidates, quote unquote.
I could describe one.
You can't talk to everybody.
A.Bevy Radio. Hey.
Oh, we tried.
Let me describe her.
Nah, but it's most people like to talk more like FaceTime. I don't requested a couple come to Atlanta's.
What were you gonna do when they came? Like, were you gonna have the sanitizer and the wipes?
Yeah.
Ready? You got a thermometer at the crib to see if they got a fever?
I don't, but I could have easily got one.
Right.
It didn't happen though, so it's like it's okay.
Because the message to females was, if a man asks you to come through during the coronavirus, he really don't care about you. He's trying to risk your entire health.
Every day.
You said what?
I asked my fiance to come through every day.
Y'all live together.
See?
Come on, man.
I'm gonna be sick. I'm gonna be sick with you.
I didn't know that was a thing, though.
You know what? I feel like that's really interesting. Me and Bryant, I said that the coronavirus, I'm not blaming Corona on Bryant, but I will say God had a hand on quarantine because of Bryant. Because for the past 6 months, I won't say year, he's had an issue with social media.
It still do.
And he felt like the use of technology was robbing people of in-person interactions. And it's true to a certain extent, but I feel like it's because millennials or our age group is like in between. We were there from pay phones all the way to FaceTime phones. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
The generation before us, they didn't get that. And then the generation after us, they had phones since they were 10. So we're the generation that's like, I miss the old days. Constantly thinking that. Mm-hmm. But because of quarantine, you're forced to have these interactions. Like, you know what I'm saying? People who used to say, I hate FaceTiming, I want to see you in person. Guess what y'all doing now?
FaceTiming.
FaceTime me that.
Y'all on FaceTime. So I think like that just shifts. We are the generation that's hard to please because we came from a very, technology changing time.
Yeah.
But I feel like FaceTime, I know data rates are
going through the roof.
That Wi-Fi.
You ain't got Wi-Fi, you struggle right now.
Yeah,
Shout out to the districts who sending the Wi-Fi buses out. You know what I mean? Need that.
Because it's a crazy shift. But like Bryant, with you not liking or disapproving of the utilization of social media to that capacity, how do you feel like that has shifted?
There's a movie that the Rebecca in me is taking over right now. I can't think of. That's all the time I'm gonna give myself to try to remember. I'm sure once I get to talking, I'll think of it. But as far as what we're looking at, social media, the need for it, the need for internet, the need for virtuality, the virtuality versus reality. If I ever write a thesis, that's gonna be one of the 10. Virtuality versus reality. I think we're getting to Ready Player One. That's the name of the movie, Ready Player One. I think it's also a book. It's not a book, then it's an old movie that they remade, but I'm pretty sure it's a book that was released as a movie a couple years ago. So we get to the point where everyone is disparaged in the real world, in reality, but you can live whatever life you want to live in virtuality. So I think what I have, I won't say issue with, because it ain't got nothing to do with me. It's just a disagreement with the idea that, you can be somebody virtually that you're not in real life. That's where it comes from. So,
you know what?
You said, yeah, I've always felt like that. I think this time, because our people who are used to living virtually, they can't create content that makes them look like somebody they're not in reality. I think is really putting an emphasis on reality. I think it's putting an emphasis on what actually matters. I think it's saying, even virtually, you can't be virtual and be like, hey, look at my $1 billion house. Like, look how nice my life is. Like, that's not what's mattering right now. I'm seeing it happening. Big shout out to Drake, Tootsie sliding. I think he had a
I hate that song so much.
Magazine. I don't know if anybody follows Champagne Poppy, but he had a spread where it was showing off his house. Kind of like on some, this is a top 7 wonders of the world type thing. And I was like, this isn't like a time where the majority needs to see that or feel that or be that. And I believe in Drake. I respect Drake. He's one of the greatest artists ever, possibly. So I know inspirationally that's there. It's definitely tapping into me. Where it's like, damn, when I get my house, what I'm gonna do. But when it comes to reality, that doesn't matter right now. It doesn't matter for me. A lot of people I surround myself with.
I feel like the issue with like virtuality and reality is something that, especially, we've known plenty of people that cap on the internet.
Cap.
But I'm starting to believe that's like their way of manifesting. Like, it has to be a little part of you. Like, you cannot just be pulling this out your ass. Like, a part of you may wish this is your life. Like, y'all looking real goofy, but
it might be attainable.
It may not be attainable because you're not. I think what makes it more attractive is the fact that you're not doing anything to reach that. That's what makes it more of a cap. But it's like, if you about to flex, you posting like, they just said no, Ayat. But like, if you sitting on sinks like you got a big booty, guess what you want? Guess what we know you want?
You want a booty.
You can't get it. You can't afford it. Look at right. I'm starting, like, now that I'm scrolling through social media and I'm seeing some of these people and the stuff that they're doing, I just be like, this might be your way of telling us what you wish you had.
All I'm saying is what you're saying goes to us living like everybody go watch Ready Player One. That's just what it's gonna be. If I can manifest it in virtuality, then I can make it. Like, it's gonna happen. Like, whatever.
I can't live like that
right now. Just on a positive note, I feel what you're saying. I don't know about the big booty and all of that, but
I don't think it's positive. But
shout out to B Simone,
manifestation queen.
Okay,
manifestation queen. She calls herself, and she made it happen. Without doing anything gimmicky, just being herself and taking that to next level and next level and next level to becoming what she wanted to be, what she believed herself to be. Being one of the most self-aware people on Instagram, especially for our community. Is there a Black Instagram yet?
No, not fully. No. But I feel like at the same time, you not feel like the people who know me personally, or the people that grew up with her, don't look at her and roll their eyes like, you not this fucking funny.
Mm-hmm.
Sure.
I seen her at the bank like 2 weeks ago.
She live in Atlanta?
Yeah, she's from Atlanta. All of them from Atlanta. But it's just like, do you not feel like the people that grew up near her, maybe she was shy in person, but they like this internet personality. That's not what you do in class. Like,
where was this at?
You know what I'm saying? Like, there's a lot of people who are really funny, but they're only confident behind the camera. Or
Soon in episode 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, it's gonna be some time before we continue to dive into the difference between who a person is virtually versus in reality.
Yeah, Ross said something real. He said,
I don't wear hats in real life, but I have a hat on now, and the screen is mirrored, so I'm trying to figure out how to get it balanced. So keep, give me hell later. You know what I mean?
I wear hats every day.
You want to celebrate it. That's what it is. So.
But at the end of the day, when it comes to COVID, we recognizing, who we are. We're recognizing, who we can be, and hopefully everybody watching this has some type of drive for when this is over with, at whatever time that it's over with, that you can go outside and be yourself. Don't put too much on you. Make sure you're okay and you're good right there. Don't think you got to step out and be Simone. Don't think you got to step out and be Donald Trump. Don't think you got to step out and be, I didn't catch it. Still, don't think and be less than or greater than. Just be yourself. Be okay. But then again,
tutorial so you could blend your concealer, because Donald don't.
I think Trump is being himself. So in the future, continue doing that virtually and in reality. If in reality you can do it better than you can virtually, please do. In the future, if you can do it better virtually than you do in reality, please do. I promise, I'm making a pledge now that I will not knock anyone who is excelling, progressing, growing in life virtually anymore.
Because when I block y'all off my influencer page, and
that's it.
Y'all gonna be like, who is this?
That's it. So before Linz, Keith, it's great to have both of y'all. Any last words? We'll start with Linz. Anything you want to tell the people?
Stay safe, wash your hands, do what you gotta do.
That's it.
Wash your hands over gloves.
Yeah. That's straight too now. You see how Lynn's doing it now. Protective styles.
Listen, I've been trying any and everything on my hair, okay?
There we go. All right, Keith, anything you want to say to the people? Let them know.
Everybody stay safe. Stay in the house so that we can have somewhat of a summer. We outside. And I vow to be more productive from this point on.
There we go. All right. So appreciate you both. Thank you for coming through. Much love and appreciation.
Bye.
So we're done. We got a little time left, man, to hit something on the head. We're gonna check the chat. See what's going on in the chat. What we got going on? We got Tonto said, "Fake it till you make it, then fake it some more," which goes what we.
That's how I feel about Drake, Aubrey. That's how I feel about Aubrey. Directly,
it's two sides. Check us out for like episode 20 to talk about Drake showing his sides.
I feel like that quote is Drake. But moving on.
Right here is going to be chopped up and put on all social medias, and it's going to be cut right here.
Yeah, don't drag me.
I'm going to drag you, man. I got your back. We all got your back. All right, DeAsia's here. Somebody calling. We got a caller. Okay, they must can't make the show. So for these last moments, what we want to do, just want to thank everybody for tuning in for this first episode. Our goal with the first episode is to outlay what A.Bevy Radio is. It's to show, we can create an interactive talk show to where it'll be the future of what podcasts are, what music stations are, what else, what parties are, what classrooms are, all of these things all in one. From us, we're never gonna, succumb ourselves to talking about something else. Anything we talk about is gonna push a mindset forward. And pushing that mindset forward is not trying to tell you what to think, trying to tell you what to do. Is to assist you in tapping into yourself and being the individual that you're destined to be. Our goal in life in general is fulfillment. Our goal in general is to look back at what has been before us and say, how can we do better? So the best way to do that is to have open discussion and talk about, discuss on the outer so that we can tap in and, you know, make decisions within ourselves to be that person.
And be that line, that okay.
Okay. Yeah, that's a thing right there.
Being in that okay space and not feeling
okay. You might just need to do that. That's cool. You can do that.
I'm gonna be like,
hey, lit though. Okay is lit. Whatever we're gonna do. So before we get out of here, what we also want to do with A.Bevy Radio is bigger than talk show. We love the arts. A.Bevy loves the arts. We believe the arts are the most impactful thing in the world, or the most impactful things in the world. So shout out to DJ D Nice. Shout out to Timbaland and Swiss Beats for the verses again. If we talking about digital stuff. Shout out to Tory Lanez, who, whether it be through animation, being creative with yourself, quarantine, you're able to bring in audience. You're able to impact others. So one thing we want to do is have exclusive material that we can stream, and also exclusive live performances. So right now we want to bring in a good brother of mine who A.Bevy would not be A.Bevy without. He goes by the name of Ra. It would not be, as far as our A.Bevy collegiate group, A.Bevy at Coastal without him. I probably would have never been to Coastal without him. I probably would have never went to Myrtle Beach after 20 years old if it weren't for him. So the Charlestonian himself is now live. How are you okay, brother? How you doing?
I'm good, man. Just trying to maintain this. I don't know. I'm up and down with it. You know what I mean? Like, I never really been too much of a social person, but I realized like that is a part of me. You know what I mean? So like being stuck in the house or just going to work and then coming home is just daunting at some time. So it's killing me, but we all right. Yeah. Good health.
You're a social person. You're a very compassionate person. You want to give. And I think in this quarantine is disabling us to be able to give in certain ways that we're used to.
Yeah.
That you're here today to give to us, you know, in a different format. But before we toss to that, you know, anything you want to say, any questions you got for us, you know, anything?
Oh man. Well, I mean, it'll be more so. I have to ask, like, how do y'all navigate to help kids and everything like that who don't have, you know, sources to Wi-Fi, or, you know, their Wi-Fi source is skeptical, or they just need more help with the material? Like, how are y'all helping them?
It's been very uncertain, and it's been up and down. We give assignments, we're supposed to grade them, but for the most part, we do wellness checks.
Okay.
So it's just like, I don't care who submits assignments, who doesn't. I broke my all-time rule about not giving my personal number out. Like, I'm texting parents that I know struggle, like I haven't met in person, who don't check emails. So I have 2 students who were homeless prior to this. So now that they've been staying at an extended stay, and I text their parent because it's just been wellness checks. Grades, education. Honestly, education has been on the back burner. Social and emotional check-in has been most educators' forefront on what they're focusing on. So the education part is sad that they're missing out on it, but some kids are in abusive situations, so all we can do is check on them socially and emotionally. Yeah. I don't personally expect more from them than to just be okay.
Yeah, that right there. Yeah, that's crazy, man. Like, as B. White was saying, you know, I like to give or help in any capacity. So I just been like rattling my brain with other educators and trying to figure out like how we can, as a community, maybe find a way to support, you know, the less fortunate. So.
Well, thank you. Well, definitely, I'll think of different ways that we can help, because they're limiting volunteers and stuff like that too because of Corona. So it's hard what we can do. Only thing we can really focus on is reaching out to them.
Right.
And making sure that they're good.
All right.
That's what's up, man.
You know,
she got answers. So any question, any performer wants to come through and ask her, please do. She is the great Ayat, you know what I'm saying? Right now, we want to pass the mic to you. You can take over again in introduction. You can follow him on Instagram at RahSpeaks. That's RAH.SPEAKZ.
Yes, sir.
Follow him. Right now, he's going to give us a performance because the arts are the avenue to a greater us, to pushing ourselves forward. So take in what he does and what he presents for yourself. Put yourself in it. Let's see it. Appreciate you being here.
What's that?
Appreciate you being here.
Appreciate you having me, man. All right, so what I'm gonna share with y'all is a piece that I wrote not too long ago. It's entitled "Between the Covers." It's a play on words, but I hope y'all enjoy it. So the truth is, I wanted to get inside you the moment we locked eyes. I mean, you're fine and thicker than cold peanut butter. Your style is unmatched. You a trendsetter. Many creatives adopted your style to use it in cinemas. You're so mysterious to me. How can you be so quiet yet so thought-provoking? Many creatives adapted to use you in cinemas. How can you be so quiet yet so thought-provoking? Hold on. How can you be so quiet yet so thought-provoking? Perhaps that's why they banned you in many rooms. The things you say could turn a room Fahrenheit 451. And they say sticks and stones may break my bones and words can never hurt me. But that was some bullshit. The shit you put out could hurt like a full clip. And I'd be foolish to say that you didn't expand my mind. See, I could find you at any time immersed in R&B, hip house, bass, and jazz. And then turn around and teach me some arithmetic that'll kick my ass. I love how you take me on trips around the world and I never have to leave my couch. You bring trips to islands, trips of paradise right inside the house. And while I kick my feet up, you unlock my mind by giving me you unlock my mind with the key to life by, you unlock my mind by feeding me facts with the key to life. And if we're lucky, at night, I'll carry you to the bedroom just so you can continue to play with my head because I know that's what you like. But it wasn't until we made it between the covers where I fell in love with you and your body, palms holding your back, gently securing your spine while I'm licking my fingers after each and every stroke inside. And as excitement builds, I flip you over to your next side. I'm nose deep inside where your left and right divides. Fuck coming up for air. Because that breathing shit is overrated. And to my television and my friends, I am jaded. I'd rather spend endless time reading and studying your body language. I am captivated. Oh, yes, you captivate minds. Oh, yes, you stimulate minds. Your blessings is so divine. You blew my mind. But who would have thought you would have had me speaking multiple languages by halftime? But it wasn't until the end of our time where I saw you on the hip of another guy, caught you in the lap of another girl's thigh, and I pretended to be blind to have something in my eye to avoid the harsh realities that you were never just mine. And I sit back and think of all the good times and how I let you into my mind, and I even brought you around my mom's. And for the first time, my parents didn't mind us sharing the same bed. Yeah, no black parents ain't having that. But that's just how much they love seeing us together. And I can't front. She made this man better. I mean, it's like I'm stuck on shorty. It's as if she's been basket weaved into my DNA. And I can't front. And still to this day, when I get that call, I definitely answer. And sometimes I pop up at our favorite spots and all, Barnes and Noble and all, just for a taste of nostalgia, remembering the good times we had between the covers. So that is all, folks. That is entitled Between the Covers. That was really just more about my recent obsession with falling in love with reading books. So that's why I entitled it. You know what I'm saying?
That's dope. That's real dope.
Yeah.
I like
We
that.
need that.
I love metaphors.
I appreciate it. I gotta lock that down a little bit though, but when I get it, I got it.
No, we got you coming back soon, man. We got you coming back on a future episode. So make sure again, y'all follow Raw. Make sure you see what he got going on. Because again, the arts will speak to us in various ways. Some of you, if you run that back, you know, you may take it as something that you're attracted to and how you deal with it. Whether it be, as he mentioned, books, whether it be actually be a lady, whether it be your solitude now. Make sure you take in your art from your perception. Don't let art tell you who to be. Don't let the world tell you who to be. Don't let others tell you who to be. But take things that are coming to you and decide who you are. You know, move forward with that in your head. That's the main thing.
Absolutely.
Yep. Yes, sir.
If I could say one thing before we log off, though.
Absolutely.
So working at the CDC, man, I see I'm out in the streets a lot, or within the community and everything like that. So I see how a lot of people are treating one another, man, during this time. From the elderly, how people treating the elderly, to like someone who sneezes, because there's mad pollen out here, right? So people are freaking out, and just like, I feel like in the midst of pandemic, people are losing their mind, and along with losing their mind, they're losing their sense of humanity. You know what I'm saying? So I challenge people to make sure that they hold tight onto their humanity and treat each other with respect, with love, man. Because when it's all said and done, you gotta look that person in their eye when this is done, and they're gonna determine how your actions today spoke in your heart now. You know what I mean? So just we gotta operate in love, man. I know it's scary, but that's all.
Operate in love, man.
Yeah, man.
Love. Shout out to The Alchemist. That's a book we read. You know, book of the month, rather. Make sure if you can check it out, it's a quick read. You know, we all got time. Some of us have less time than others. Some of us has less access than others. If you in the chat and need a copy of The Alchemist, let us know. You know, but baby, we can help the people out. You know, so you know, let us know. Yeah, you see, yeah. At least. So, Rob, we appreciate you. Thank you for coming, man. Thank you for being here.
All right.
Definitely gonna see you in a later episode, brother.
Indeed.
Absolutely. All right. So right now, we're a little past our time. So just to wrap up, we're gonna do is a final segment for you to take something with you, for you to challenge yourself, for you to dive into when it comes to the arts. We want to promote something or suggest something that you can invite into your life. So, Ayat, what you got for the people?
So I guess following Raw's spoken word about books, I have a book suggestion for other people, and I challenge you to look through it, read through it. This is my book suggestion, Between the World and Me. It's an amazing book. I'm a highlighter. Like, I read through the book, highlight through it. So it's one of those books that brings you back to reality and understanding what it means to be Black.
Yep.
In today's world. So that is, and it's a quick read. It's a very quick read. That's what I want the world to take away from. And I think during this time, beyond just the pandemic, we are even looking at the stats of the pandemic. It's already showing there's a disparity between who is actually dying. I think it's a good book to read, and it's between a father and son. So I suggested it for all Black men. I remember texting every man I know in my phone, like, you need to read this book. You need to read this book. But it's beyond that. If you're a woman and one day you'll birth a son or have a brother or a cousin, I still think it's a really amazing book to read.
Right.
So that's what I want y'all to take away from it.
So check that out, Between the World and Me, Ta-Nehisi Coates. You know, make sure you get that. I think I got it. I started reading, I ain't finished it. So I got to get into it. As a Black man, I got to get into it. I either got it or my mama got it. So me, I want to suggest an album. Streaming is popping now. So make sure you check out this album right here. It's What's Going On by Marvin Gaye, Mr. Marvin Gaye. All right. Make sure you check out this album. It's an album that connects together perfectly. Released, you know, in years that none of us, as far as people watching or our age group, were alive within. So you can check this out and find the correlation of what was going on then, what's going on today. And at the same time, via music, what I stand for is music having a purpose, music having a message. I grew up on music teaching, music being a parent, music being a mentor. So this right here is an album that definitely, you know, teaches you something, gives you a feeling, and allows you to feel a certain way. So that's What's Going On by Marvin Gaye. It's a full album. There's no bops on it. By definition, what a bop is. But if you change the definition of bop and saying that a bop is something that's going to help you, something you can groove to, something that you can relate to when it comes to the below okays or the above okays of your life, this right here is for you. So check out Marvin Gaye, What's Going On. All right. So right now, we're still live in the chat. I want to thank you all for coming out. A.Bevy Radio episode 1 of y'all. How you feeling? How you feeling?
I'm excited. I wasn't prepared to do this live, but I've always wanted to make sure our episode get recorded. And first step is doing the first one.
Exactly. We're gonna be candid forever with this, so we're gonna always improve. We've got some notes via text that the sound may have been off, but understand when episode 2 drop, look out for episode 2 drop. The sound will be right. You know what I'm saying? So tell a friend to tell a friend. A.Bevy Radio. We got 30 minutes left. DJ Tony Tonto. We're gonna jump in the comments. We're gonna try to interact with everybody here. Thank you for coming out. Much love. Stay safe. Stay sanitized.
Love y'all. Thank you.
Much love.